Everybody. Welcome to kdmoonchild's world. And I'm Katie. This is the Lightworkers RoundTable. Welcome and welcome to my guest, Issac.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
This whole thing, the whole premise of this show is to be relaxed, to have a good time, raise our vibes, and talk about how we do that.
Okay. Good
When
deal.
we get all I'm just like, I can't do it again. I can't. What do you do? How do you plug in? So, Issac, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
I am a licensed professional counselor. I also have a license in marriage and family counseling. Terrible marriage counselor. Terrible. I don't do it. I tell people it's just a license. And I've been counseling for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, mostly worked in residential, alcohol and drug counseling. But now I do a private practice and mostly individual therapy. Yeah, I can handle a group of 12 easily, but don't give me a couple.
That's interesting. I love it. That's interesting. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Wolf Girl Oracle. Bless her heart. And she found out she's tested positive for COVID today.
Oh. So, she was on your show as well, right?
Yeah.
I saw that.
So we're all praying for her. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, I said hi, Jenny. Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
A little more time, more people coming in. We got 7 people watching, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I was when we did our Can You Sing It together?
Yes. Yeah.
Gosh, that was so much fun. And then we got to talk a little backstage, and I found out how the way you come about doing your counseling.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, oh, Issac's got to be on my show.
And I've been excited since you asked me. I've just been sitting ready.
Oh, how cool. I love that. Thank you. Hey, Stony Baker MD. I have a wide cross section. Like I say, everybody's welcome here. I have marijuana growers here. I grow it too. So it's my, I know you know, it's my CBD, I have fibromyalgia. So. Yeah, everybody. I am so happy to have Issac here. So tell us a little bit about how you go about your approach.
This is what I would tell a person. I tell them that I want to work with you in such a way that when we finish, you will become your own counselor. Because think about it, Katie, everybody wants to be able to solve their own problems. We don't want to run to somebody and ask for help.
Exactly.
And that's the way I try to work with a person. But usually when I first start talking to them, it would be just like the way we're talking now. That is going to be my conversation with someone. And I may say, tell me a little bit about yourself. And I think it's like spirit, the universe is saying this, do this, do this. And it's almost like I'm doing the treatment plan in my head.
Yeah.
But what I'm really looking for is what set all of this off? What was the earliest incident? Because if I can tap into that and we can resolve that, then a lot of other things fall in place.
Ooh, yeah, I got goosebumps on that.
Yeah, it's almost like magic, but really the person is doing the work. I'm not doing the work. I'm just listening. And I'm interjecting techniques. And most of the people that I work with, it's sort of they adapt to it and they do it and they realize that they're getting stronger and they're the ones doing the work. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That I love that.
Mhm.
Hey, Dizzle, welcome. Oh my God, it's good to see you. We just met on Monday.
Thank
She's
you, Stony.
fun. She's a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You love that, Isaac?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Stony keeps us laughing in here.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
That's his job. He's really good.
Good.
I am going to pull a card
Okay.
and message from Spirit. Yeah, Spirit, tell us what we need to know. I have a tropical storm happening outside, so if I'm a little bit distracted,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I'm in Tucson, Arizona, but they're saying that by Sunday we around my area could get up to 5 inches of rain.
Wow.
By the end of the by the end of the day Sunday. So
Well,
this is crazy. It came up from Baja. So all I can think of is Sonia's friends that live down there.
Yeah.
You know, they're living down there, so they got hit too.
Wow. That's true. That's true.
Stony. I have a mouse problem in my house, and I have 2 half Maine Coon cats. They are terrible mousers. Well, my female mouse caught one this morning, and she actually killed it. And she brought it to me as a gift. And she put it in her bed at the foot of my bed, on my bed.
Yes, that's what they do.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I thought it was where she had coughed up a fur ball because it was a baby mouse. And I picked it up and went, it's a mouse. It was very dead. Oh, but it surprised me. I didn't expect it to be. I thought it was just a fur ball.
Tony wanted to hear something about inner dialect.
Ooh.
Let's pull the card. I'll write. I know we have questions, but I'll write that down.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Maine Coons are big babies. They're just, all they mainly do is lay around and sleep. They don't even meow. They open their mouth and you're supposed to know there's a sound coming out. They grunt. Anyway, card. Okay. Wow, this is an interesting card. I'm going to put myself in the hot seat so it's a little easier to see.
Okay. Okay.
Well, wrong one. You got to pick the right spot.
Yeah, that's me.
Meow. Hi. I love it. There we go. This is Josephine Wall is the artist. I'll get away from the name.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Money. Find your way to abundance. Stop worrying about money.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all, we've got that inflation. All that stuff just passed.
Yes.
Take a breath. Stop worrying so much.
Yes.
I know we're getting bombarded with so much crazy news and shocking stuff, but you guys just breathe.
Yes. Yes.
Just
breathe.
Breathe. It will solve itself out. The universe has to balance.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, and that's all that's going on right now. Balancing when you're sorting stuff. I've been sorting clothes, getting ready for winter clothes. When you're sorting stuff, you got to get rid of old things so you can bring in new things.
That's true. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
got this thing that I like doing visuals too. And you said getting rid of old things to bring in new things.
Yes.
It's almost like not letting go of things. And I'll give this image of like a Tarzan swinging through the jungle.
Yeah.
And he grabs one vine and he's moving along and he grabs the other and then he grabs the other. And then he says, oh, this one looks nice. And he's stuck.
Yeah.
You have to keep going.
You got to let go with that other hand.
That's it. You got to keep going.
That's right. You got to put that one foot in front of the other, even though it's totally unknown.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And, people come to us as readers trying to get a little bit of a grasp on what might happen in that unknown.
Right. Right.
So we're kind of that bridge, and it's kind of an interesting place to be.
Right.
Really.
Because it's almost like you already, when you go to a reader and well, this is what I would say. A lot of times, some things you don't know. But when you're getting that validation, it's almost like if this person is seeing it, if spirit is giving it to them, why don't I accept it and see it and change it? Because you don't have to make a big change. If you make a small change, it will take you in a different direction.
Exactly. And even on those days when you don't think you've made a small, you got up that morning.
Exactly.
So you made a very small, but you did progress.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I would like to, let's do the Lightworkers RoundTable, Lightworkers Pledge.
Yes.
I'm going to put this up so that everybody has it to see.
Okay.
It will cover us up.
Okay.
There we go. Well, kind of covers this up. So everybody, you kind of read along with me. You don't have to say it out loud. If you just think it in your mind. I declare a pledge to love. I will act based on judgment from the heart. I will act not based on judgment of fear or lack. I will act not controlled by self-interest, commercial, or political agendas. Wow, that one always gives me goosebumps. I will act attempting to reduce conflict and division. I will act to promote cooperation. I will act to promote consensus. I will act to promote peace. I will act recognizing the quality of all human beings. I will act to pursue a picture of collective truth rather than personal truth. I will act to acknowledge the responsibility of supporting others in their spiritual awakening. And I will act and do not deliberately or knowingly misinform. Yes. I declare this pledge in love.
Beautiful.
I found that on the internet. I found that actually on Pinterest.
Did you? It's
yeah. Beautiful. And I was like, whoa, I want to recite that every day. There's so many in there that are, the consensus, the cooperation, the, fight division. Yeah. I'm like, that's us right now. This is what we're creating for our new world.
Yes.
Yes, I got to get cats back. I have to do the banner. There's so many different areas you got to do all this. It's crazy.
I've never done it.
Oh, StreamYard's fun.
I bet it is.
Oh dear. Actually, I kind of enjoy it. Once I started getting the paid StreamYard, it became a lot more fun.
Okay.
And then you get the back. You can put in backgrounds and all kinds of stuff. Hi, Mama Redneck. Good to see ya.
I like
that.
Hi, Mama Redneck.
When you're talking to so many people, because you spend your day helping people figure out their problems.
Mm-hmm.
How do you compartmentalize to, kind of keep that separate from you? I would think after a while that it would kind of pull you down.
Well, this is the way and it came over time. It's like I have that boundary now where I'm not afraid to work on my stuff
Yeah.
So what I've learned is, because I supervise I supervise therapists as well,
Hmm.
and I did it myself. If you have something that you can sort of relate to, you almost are pushing that client to get their work done. It's almost like you've lost sight of what's going on. And that's why
Oh,
you have to do your own work, because it feels like
yeah.
pressure to that person. It's like, well, just let up a bit. But when you know how, when I
Yeah.
realize what it feels like to do the work that they're doing, it's like I can deal with them in a different way. I know when to push and I know when to pull back.
That's interesting. That's because as card readers, um, for a long time I really struggled. I don't want to give anybody bad news. I don't want to be the purveyor of bad news.
Right.
And then I have a friend that has been doing this for 50 years almost. And she
Uh-huh.
told me, she says, that's not your job. Your job is to be the information purveyor.
Yes,
What they do with the information is up to them.
exactly. Exactly.
I'm like, okay. So then now I can, yeah, I can use, yeah, I can
Yeah.
compartmentalize what I'm doing and what I'm
Mhm.
telling.
Mhm.
I love people so much
Yeah.
that if they need help, I want to help them so badly. I get emotionally involved.
Yes. But let me say this. When we do that, we need to feel it. We can have the compassion for the person, but we have to also keep their focus on what they need to do, because when we are, this is the way I would explain it to you. If you're a
Hmm.
new therapist and you are feeling all of these emotions in your body when you're working with a person and they're in tears, and you're feeling all of that in there with them, that's okay.
Yeah.
But at some point, if I'm doing this like my first year, even my first 3 years, yeah, I can almost see that until I get a grip on it. But if I'm in this for 10 years and I'm still feeling the same way I did year one, it's like I'm not seeing anything new. It's like I ought to
Yeah.
be able to go in there and move some parts around, be compassionate
Yeah.
with the person while they're in tears. But I also have to know that I know how to get out of this.
Yeah.
And we can decide, are we going to work fast, or are we going to have to work slower? Because everybody works at a different pace. So
Sure.
it's almost like our feelings are telling us what we need to work on.
Right.
Let me say this, Katie.
Yeah.
This is what I've told all of my supervisees is, you're not, I know you think that you're here to help people, but they're actually coming to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what I was getting from what you're saying. I can hear that
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Because basically, every issue that's out there in the world, and I think this is the way I think it happened. God, we said, God, universe, I want to be a good problem solver. And
Uh
God
huh.
said, oh, I'll make you a counselor. You will hear every problem in the book. You will learn how to solve them. Now, if I learn how to
What
solve
you
them,
asked for.
that's it. If I learn how to solve them, I grow. But if I'm feeling so sad for people and I'm all in their
Yeah.
stuff, I don't grow and I don't help them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taught I once again by the same woman, card reader woman. Um you kind of have to you love everybody, you love your family, you want to protect them.
Yeah.
And when you see them driving off a cliff, you want to grab that steering wheel,
Yes.
but you have to be Brad Pitt watching Thelma and Louise
Yeah.
drive off the cliff if that's what they got to do,
Right.
because it's their path, their life,
Yeah.
and their perception
Hmm.
of everything. So when you're talking about some people have to work slow and some are faster, I'm thinking that's probably all in perception of what you're working on
Right.
and how they looked at it,
Right.
how
Hmm.
much of a victim they've in what's the word I'm looking for? Fibromyalgia brain.
Uh-huh.
They've reinforced in themselves a victimhood.
Yep. And some people do. What we,
Well, I can't think we all kind of do when we have go through our little crises and trauma.
uh-huh.
And our big crises and traumas
Uh-huh.
is like me. When I went through breast cancer, it was like, well, I can do this.
Uh-huh.
But the little stuff, somebody leaves me a nasty comment and it'll ruin my day.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what you're feeling? You're feeling the energy behind it because that was the plan.
Exactly. It was the intention. Yeah.
You can work to develop an attitude that I will not be insulted by anything that anyone says. And if you keep practicing it, when you hear it, it'll sort of get you in the beginning, but then you just take a deep breath and say, okay, what do I want to do with this? That is learning. It's all about learning about yourself, learning about your emotions, learning what triggers you, and even saying it in your head. If somebody says this, I'm just gonna say, now, what made you say that to me? But of course, see, the people that you're dealing with, they get to do this stuff and be not be face to face. But
Right.
you're feeling what they mean when it's
Right.
coming to you.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel that intention.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's like, I used to, didn't bother me to buy a used deck.
Uh-huh.
But I also wasn't as sensitive as I am now either, because I thought, I can clear anything. I can clear
Okay.
that. I can clear that. Oh no. I bought a deck one time. Smudge, smudge, smudge. Only thing I could do was a crone ceremony. I burned it.
Did you?
Yeah, because the energy was someone had definitely
Yes.
intentionally put like a hex on the cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I knew if I couldn't cleanse it, nobody else was going to be, because I did everything I could find to cleanse the darn things. And it was like, no, and I'm not going to pass them on to someone else
Right.
to go through
Exactly.
this. So I burned them.
Good.
Yes.
That'll do it every time.
Oh yeah. Um, what do you like to do to raise your vibes?
Um, what I've learned to do over time,
Mhm.
and a lot of it is just learning from different people, gratitude and appreciation. Which appreciation and gratitude I've learned are the same things. So you can always find something that you're grateful for. You know,
Absolutely.
if it's nothing but a tree in the yard,
Yeah.
or the yard is freshly cut, whatever it is, it's like, oh, there's a nice breeze, whatever. If you practice gratitude, that gratitude also helps with spirituality
Oh yes.
because you're grateful.
Yeah. And you're open when you're grateful.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
you receive more when you're grateful,
That's true.
because you're matching the energy of what you're wanting. If you want
That's
abundance, be grateful for the abundance that you have.
Yes. That's it. Be grateful for what.
And that, if you're, there's also the old, I used to love this quote from Charlie Chaplin. It's all temporary, even our struggles.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is.
I can't believe that's a Charlie Chaplin quote. But he said a few wise things, you know. It's like, I used to have, that was my face on my Facebook page. That was my quote, you know, that section you put your quote in there.
Uh-huh.
It's all temporary.
It is.
Don't worry about it.
It
It'll
is.
change.
It will.
The old "this too shall pass" is the most true statement in the English language, I
It
think.
is. It really is.
Um, yeah, it's really interesting when I ask the question about, you know, what do you do to raise your vibes?
Uh-huh.
And it's fun to hear the different, how different people do things. And
Uh-huh.
so many people turn to music.
Uh-huh.
And so it's fascinating to hear that you turn to gratitude. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
because that will raise your vibes probably quicker than anything. Go sit down and write on a piece of paper 3 things you're grateful for.
Yes. 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 It will raise your vibe. And I really do it like I've gotten to the point where I do it unconsciously. I think
Mm-hmm.
a person should do it until it's just a part of what
Yes.
they do
Yeah.
and they don't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I do it now, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I learned this little I learned it from a yogi on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
When you get up in the morning, you look to the sunrise and you say, "Thank you for holding space for me."
Uh-huh.
At lunchtime, you stand in the outside and you look straight up at the sun because you're looking at the sun, right?
Uh-huh.
Thank you for holding space for me. I am worthy.
Uh-huh.
Then at nighttime, you go and you face where the moon is and you say, "Thank you for holding space for me, for
Uh-huh.
I am worthy."
Yes.
And you plug it to go to sleep. You're in like la gratitude. When you
Yes.
do that. And you do that 3 times. That starts into that Tesla's 369
Okay. Okay.
energy
Uh-huh.
thing.
Uh-huh.
You can increase it. Do it
Yes.
6
Yeah.
times. Do it on your break,
Uh-huh.
you know. Um, and that's something as you were talking about the gratitude, I was like, wow, yeah, I forgot about thank you for holding space for me, for I am worthy. You're
Right.
telling the source, thank you for creating me and creating for what I have.
And you know one thing, you're probably doing it unconsciously every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just works like that.
Oh, and especially lately, the Lionsgate
Yes.
was, wow. I pretty much slept for a couple of weeks because
Did
I
you?
was getting such downloads. Wow. But I was told that I get to work on expansion.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm excited. And I'm going, okay, now how are we going to do this? Where do we start this?
I know, right?
Yesterday, I was given my own bulletin board on the TLC website where
Really?
I will be posting my card of the day that I post every day on Instagram.
Oh,
I am
congratulations.
so honored.
Yes.
Talk about expansion.
Right. It
So here
came
we
right
go.
in.
Yeah, here we go. I was like, okay, how am I going to expand? Well, we'll show you. It's just going to start coming in.
Uh-huh.
So now
Congratulations.
I'm rested up from all that sleep and I'm going to be really busy.
Are you?
So exciting.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody have any questions?
Stony had a question about the inner dialect.
Yes.
Um, what I would say about that is it's that thing that Abraham Hicks says that a belief is only something that we continue to tell ourselves. And
Yes.
some people, their mind is just active. It's searching for something to do. And it may be that and you may have a dialect that you're telling yourself, but if it's something negative,
Mm-hmm.
you should start to do affirmations to counter it. Louise Hay said that we all do affirmations, but they're usually negative. We're usually saying things to ourselves like, "Oh, that was stupid. Why would you do that? Oh, you
Why
made
would you
yourself."
say something like that?
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
when you change it and turn it into something positive and you practice your way out of it, but you shouldn't do an affirmation that's so divergent from the way you were thinking. You
Yeah.
sort of like need to ease your way into it.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what I would say to you. I would counter it with an affirmation. And Abraham also says that once you built so much momentum, it's hard to turn it around. We're creatures
Yes.
we're creatures of habit, and if we do something, we keep doing it. And if you take a nap, and this is Abraham Hicks, if you go to sleep, when you wake up, you're not thinking about that. But your brain says, I need to think about something. So you pick up where you left off.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, I love Esther Hicks.
Me too. Me too.
I also like to listen to Cryon.
I haven't listened to Cryon very much. I just like Esther's attitude. It's like
her
she just puts
sassy
it out
pants. Yeah, her sassy pants. And I love how she tells on herself. How Abraham tells on how Esther did this. And
there. Yeah,
Esther's attitude was this, but this is what happens when you have Esther's attitude.
That's it.
Yeah. I never miss those. And people will go, oh, well, you got to be careful. Make sure you get the most recent ones. No, you don't. Watch any one that pops up, because that's the one Spirit's wanting you to get the message from.
True. That's what I believe.
Yeah. So many people, okay, should I learn Lenormand? Talking about different cards, or should I become a medium? Should I become a psychic? They're thinking like the scholastic mind.
Yes.
When actually those things will be given to you.
Yes.
You don't go looking for the teacher to show you how to do it. You go find the teacher that helps you refine it, because you have something as a gift that you don't know what to do with. So why is it so difficult for people to believe the good things people say to them? Yeah, but readily accept and internalize anything bad said to them. It's interesting. We were talking when Kevin, the healing medium, was on here.
Okay.
We were talking about authenticity. That was pretty much the main topic of the night. And we were talking about how you can have 100 beautiful, wonderful, sweet comments.
Yeah.
But that one cancels them all.
Yeah.
And it is so crazy. Why do we do that? Why do we let ourselves fall down that rabbit hole?
Yeah. I watched that one that you did with Kevin. I remember hearing that conversation.
Yeah, I was like, craziest. Why do we do that?
I'd like to answer Sherry.
Yes, of course.
What I would say to you is, this is, it sounds like you're a fixer. So if somebody gives you something to fix, it's almost like you'll start working on it. And that's what we do. We will believe it, because if we're a fixer, we got to have something to fix. But if we're okay, it's like, it's like, where am I if I'm not, who am I if I'm not doing anything?
Yeah.
So we would practice learning to just be a human being and not a human doing, and be careful of the people who bring things to you like that. One of the best things that I would suggest to anyone is, if it's a friend or someone bringing you information and they say, oh, you ought to hear what so-and-so said. The best thing to do is say, don't tell me. And they will be say, is it good or bad? And if they say, oh, it's not good, so don't tell me, because I'll end up being upset and I just don't want to hear. Now, it'll circle in your mind for like maybe the first time, maybe 10 minutes, but not like ruminating. It'll come back, it'll leave. And then after you practice that enough, you'll realize that I feel much better when I don't hear bad things about myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and then there are other people that will come to you with every problem in their life for advice, and you give them advice and they follow none of it, and they keep coming back for more.
Yeah.
And after a while you go, oh, wait a minute. Are you coming to me for advice, or are you just coming to me to vent?
Yes. Yes.
And you pick up oh, you're venting. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would rather you vent somewhere else. Because that's what I usually tell people when they start that. It's like, no. If you come to me for advice and I give you advice and you choose not to follow it, that's cool. That's up to you. But if you keep coming back and repeating that pattern, you're wasting my time and yours, because all you're doing is bringing yourself down, and me too.
Oh, there's a good one, Katie.
Question. I'm gonna post that one.
Yeah.
Good dizzle. Do you have any advice for feeling down about having our gifts? Oh, I know that seems silly, but yeah, I live having my gifts, but sometimes I feel so alone on my journey.
Well, this is what I would say to you. It depends on what your soul agreed on when you came in. And you would, and I think you should start asking maybe, I'm alone, but are you a person who sort of recharges when you're alone? Because most people with a gift like that, they recharge when they're alone.
I
But
do.
it was almost like you're saying, Katie, they come to you, and then what they're doing is they're tapping in to get a charge. And you're thinking to yourself, well, why are people not hanging around? Because basically,
Yeah.
they're coming to get recharged. And if you have a problem, they scatter, because if it's something wrong with you, what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And once you accept your theme in life, that people leave me to my own devices,
Yes.
you've almost you've almost got it beat. And when somebody walks away, you can say, "Oh, most people leave me to my own devices," and you won't worry about it. That's what I would say.
I can say that as my gifts awaken, because I've been on the fast track. I just awakened 5 years ago,
Yeah,
and I have been on a mega fast track. So when I
really.
say I get a download, I've been working with the archangels. I'm like,
Uh huh.
uh, um, well, Archangel Gabriel and I are working on a book about twin flame love.
Oh,
We've
okay.
been working on it for 5 years
Oh, that
now.
sounds interesting.
I get it as a download in the middle of the night, just every once in a while. And I only get it when I understand what he's telling me. That is
Uh-huh.
such a complicated topic.
Yes. Oh,
And so, yeah, so it's been fascinating.
or you're gonna
But
have to stick with that.
it's natural that he would. I'm a writer. That's my
Uh-huh.
master's. And so
Oh,
he's the archangel of
yeah,
communication.
yeah.
So yeah, he's the one who tells me what to do with the channel too.
Good.
I didn't want to do this.
Uh-huh.
I had a channel before. It was a party stream. Like it was ladies' night at the bar on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
That, you let the guys in after the male strippers leave.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up with bad trolls. It was a
Uh-huh.
bad situation. And I left for 3 years. And it was like, Spirit says, I want you to start your YouTube channel up again. And I went, no, please. No, I don't want to do that again.
Uh-huh.
And Spirit says, no, it'll be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
No, I put it off for a year. I was like, no, please, no. And then finally, I heard, you're not hearing us.
Uh-huh.
You are going to start up your YouTube channel again. We have a message for you to give. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, fine. Then it's your channel. You tell me what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That inner child was like, okay. And wow. That's where this show came from. Is from
Good. That's
watching
interesting.
Manasa one Saturday morning.
Really?
Yeah.
We're all getting information all the time.
Yes.
I get some good hits just walking through my bathroom. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the mirrors. I'm trying to figure it out. But
Maybe one of those mirrors is a portal.
maybe.
I have one right here in my bedroom that is.
Really?
Yeah, I have to hang scarves and stuff down on it
Oh, okay.
because it'll cause the separation. I noticed it by accident because I was burning some, I think it was copal,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't just kind of. It's my altar's right there under that mirror
Uh-huh.
too, and so I'm not paying a whole lot of attention. And I look over and I look at it, and that smoke looks really funny.
Uh-huh.
The smoke was going into the mirror like it was going out an open window.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa. So I mentioned it to this spiritual lady I knew, and she's like, oh, you got an open portal there in your room. You might want to see what you can do about closing it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to come back and forth. I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So I also learned that if you have a mirror at the foot of your bed, cover it. Because when you
Really?
sleep at night,
Uh-huh.
it draws energy out of your feet.
Wow.
Mirrors are interesting
They
things.
they really are. They really are.
Yeah.
And it's not just it was even when I was at work. I'd walk in the bath. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm thinking it's the mirrors. I would walk in the bathroom and then it's like something that I needed to know will it just download.
Bingo.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that message that was sent to you gets bounced around, and as it hits him where it's bouncing, it gets more power and it hits you.
You
Because
know
I
what?
think we're constantly getting these messages, but we don't always listen.
Right. Right.
And they have to slap you upside the head sometimes
Yes.
to
Yes.
make you listen.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's what the mirrors are doing.
I don't know. I'm
I
gonna
have
see.
a spot in my garden that's kind of like that, where when I go and I sit there, um, well, I was sitting there with my kitty in my lap one day, and all of a sudden I had this sensation like I had dropped into the seat.
Oh.
And it was really, really weird. I
Mhm.
just was petting her. Wasn't, and I wasn't really meditating. I wasn't
Uh-huh.
focused on anything, but I obviously was not here and came back.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going, whoo, I had an out of body experience, I'll bet.
Yep.
So now I'm real curious about that. Yeah, it's weird how these things, especially in the last 2 years,
Yes. Yes.
and that's because we're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
took a class from Rick Levine, the
Uh-huh.
astrologer,
Uh-huh.
uh, basic 101 class. And when he got to Aquarius, which is my sign,
Uh-huh.
and he talked about the age of Aquarius and how the fifth dimension song is 100 what we want, but it's not really the truth,
Uh-huh.
because the dawning of we want the age of Aquarius. We really don't want the dawning of it. We're living in the dawning of it right
Okay.
now. The it's chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
because so much to bring it in the balance and the harmony and the love
Yes.
in, you got to
Yes.
get that darkness out.
Yes. Yes.
And you can't get the darkness out unless you look at it.
Uh-huh.
So then you talk about shadow work, which is I talked about with Wolf Girl, with
Uh-huh.
Dolly. That
Yes.
people have really interesting opinions on shadow work.
Uh-huh.
Got a lot of interesting feedback on that show.
Okay.
Some people think you're digging up bad karma, and that made me
Uh-huh.
giggle, because isn't that the whole point of doing shadow work, is to heal your karma?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I saw that show as well.
that was like the very last comment, right just before I turned it off. I was like,
Uh-huh.
whoa, don't even give us a chance to even answer the question. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. From Washington. Okay, I'm going to try. No, I'm not going to try. That's like Salishan Lodge and places like that. Hypnicity, I'm from Oregon.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Flagstaff, Arizona, is where I was born, but
Uh-huh.
my father worked for the National Park Service.
Oh, okay.
So my first park when I was 3 was the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
Lived in Bryce Canyon, Utah.
Uh-huh.
That was fun as a little Baptist girl in a very Mormon state.
Uh-huh.
Um, talk about confusion. Um, and then we moved to Crater Lake National Park in Oregon, which is a volcano that imploded on itself. It blew up so violently
Wow.
and filled up with snow water. It has no inlets or outlets, and it's 1,492 feet deep.
Wow.
Yeah, at the deepest measurable point. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a pretty cool place. The Native Americans around there believe that the Great Spirit lives in that lake, and they do sacrifices into that. They used to do sacrifices into the lake.
Wow.
So, your mom was an Idaho Mormon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Traditionally, well, Baptists don't. They don't like anybody. So what can I say? Because they're the chosen ones. I can say that because that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against them.
Good.
People who follow that. Hey, Jesus's teachings were and are amazing,
Yes.
wonderful, and
Mhm.
you live by them. You live with love.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, yeah. So, and to me, that's life has been such a struggle, and there's been so much darkness that I don't want to even look at it if it's not love, sparkle, pretty, and colorful.
I
I'm tired of gray and division. I'm
I
sick
get
with
it.
it.
I
Um,
know.
yeah, it's like somebody the other day. Somebody was asking me, they were showing me their cards, and they were all in pastel colors, and I was like, those are pretty, but I would never buy them. And they're like, why? I'm a color girl. I'm an artist, so yeah, I'm all about color. And I pastel is my medium. It is not my tone,
I get it.
shade, or hue.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I use soft pastels because I can get in my art with my fingers. I
Okay.
have it all over my face when I'm all done with when I work. It's a blast. This is also like being a little girl and making my hopscotch.
Okay.
But the colors are way more vivid because I have these pastels from France that are they have like a little bit of a tiny bit of an oil to them, so they're almost buttery. They're
Okay.
super fine grind,
Okay.
so they're lovely
That's
and they're
interesting.
really vivid in color.
Uh-huh.
So they're super expensive. They're like $5 a piece.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
From France.
From France. Yeah, tariffs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, sir, I love this. This is a good show. Thank you. This information is incredible.
Yeah.
Um, you know, when do you notice that it's time for you to recharge? Do you have a particular point that you get to where you're like, no, I got to recharge first?
You this is it's almost automatic now.
Mm-hmm.
I will I have this sense that I need some alone time. And that's usually what it is. I can spend hours alone and I'm perfectly because I know that I'm not alone. So
Exactly. Well, and I was unlike you though, that way. I was raised an only child.
uh-huh.
I played, I had to play by myself.
Uh-huh.
So, you know what? I kind of prefer the solitary walk that I'm on right now. I'm doing the shamanic walk, and it is kind of very much a solitary walk. Because I am so in tune with, I'm still on that fast track. So I'm so in tune
Uh-huh.
with spirit that I don't have the emotional time to invest in a relationship
Uh-huh.
right now.
Yeah. I'm reading something that Sherry posted.
Yes, she wants to have you on her channel.
You posted my email, right?
Yes, it's right. Sherry, it's
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, my email.
always look in the description, girl, in this channel. All the information on everyone is always in there. His email's down there. And if not, I'll give it to you. Sure. Oh, you'll have a ball over there.
Oh.
That's cool.
So
Yes.
what do you do with anxiety issues? that sort of come along with that. I would say
Ooh,
listen, because a lot of people will have those anxiety issues
I
and
get them.
they won't realize that it's spirit trying to get their attention. So you
Mm,
start to listen, and if you there's a author Gary Zukav and his
I like him.
partner Linda Francis. He wrote a book called Emotional Awareness. If you are able to uh, start practicing emotional awareness, practice some progressive muscle relaxation,
Yes.
but you may have to do some type of guided relaxation. It'll help your body learn to calm down. And sometimes when you're getting the anxiety, it's a message ready to come through. And it may not be any big thing, but you learn not to run from the anxiety. You say, I want to see what this is like. I want to deal with it. So we're running from different emotions,
Mm.
and it can you gradually get into it. And actually, the whole while I'm sitting
Mm.
here talking to y'all, I got my meditation beads.
Yeah.
I just sort of do them in my fingers when I'm talking, and it helps me concentrate. But it
Mhm.
also takes away the anxiety. But anxiety is you learn the anxiety, figure out, because some people are just more anxious than others.
Yeah.
If you look at behavior on a continuum, some people are, you're trying to get to the middle, because if you're out here, you just may be so anxious you can't sit still, and if you're out here, you're probably manic, so you are depressed. So you bring it toward the middle. You just start looking at the anxiety. What is this anxiety telling me? What do I need to do with it? Where did it come from? And you start practicing relaxing, deep breathing. That's it.
Yes.
But you have
Uh,
to practice.
yes. And you do eventually have to face it anyways
Yes.
because it will come up again.
Yes.
I
Yes.
promise you.
It will.
Um, this is fascinating for me because I have a hard time going to uh, walking in a big room full of people.
Yeah.
Nah, I get fear, fight or flight, and want to run.
Do you?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
because I hear them all at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah. And you're
I
probably
can't
tapping
handle
into.
the mall. I'll go to the mall to go to the food court and go right back out again, or to go to the movie. I don't go in
Yes.
the rest where the shops and stuff are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
All
And
of that energy is shooting at you.
and when I noticed that I was like that was after 9/11,
Really?
because I realized in a crowd of people anything can happen and you can be very helpless.
Yeah.
And so I don't like being in crowds of people.
Uh-huh.
Also, I used to go to lots of rock concerts in all kinds of different states of mind.
Yeah.
And, before that stampede in Cincinnati,
Hmm.
I would I was standing down on the floor all the time. And I've been like, went to see Van Halen and they stopped the concert twice to make people move back because they were crushing the people standing in front of the stage.
Wow.
Um, they don't do stadium seating like that. They put the mosh pit down there now where you can jump and run and bump into each other,
Oh,
land on each other, and hurt each other.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, um, so I think that was part of it too, because you got people standing all around you like this, and it just,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I've only been to one concert, a seated concert. I don't like crowds. It's
yeah,
I just don't. If I have to do a crowd, I will. I can do it. It's almost like a performance. If
yeah,
but I
exactly.
it's not something that I'm
But I
gonna
can't wait to get home.
to recuperate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get to my solitude place.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always so interesting because so many of us here that do this on YouTube are
Yeah.
introverts. We're very introverted,
Uh-huh.
but we're not when we're live. We're very animated.
That's true. That's true. We most of the time we can go out and do what we need to do, but when you start realize, because see, if you don't realize that, hey, I I know that I rejuvenate or recharge when I'm alone. People start to get, just by comments or ourselves, we can think to ourselves, I should be okay around a lot of people. Now
Mhm.
you just are what you are. And you
Yeah,
don't judge yourself. You just start figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. That's what I think.
exactly. We are so yeah, judgmental of other people, but
Mm.
I'm harder on myself than I am on other people.
Yeah.
And I had to flip that
Yes.
because that's where that holding space for I am worthy comes from.
Exactly.
Because every time I walk by, well, breast cancer survivor, I had mastectomy of one breast, not two.
Uh-huh.
So for 6 months, every time I walked by a mirror, I'd look at myself and go, "What man is going to want you?"
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Those were the tapes I was playing in my head.
Right.
All the meantime, I'm trying to survive cancer.
Yes. Not a good plan, huh?
Yeah. And then finally I went, "Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going through the most difficult time you will ever have in your life,
Yeah,
and you're beating yourself up."
exactly. But
So I started
we're not
walking.
aware of it.
Yeah, I start walking by the mirror and go, "Ooh, you
Mhm.
look good without any hair."
Right.
Oh, hey, you could paint your eyebrow. Oh, one eyebrow is a little higher than the other. That's funny. I start laughing at stuff like that.
Good. Good.
Yeah. And then I learned through that I'm
Mhm.
my favorite comedian. I laugh at myself now more than I do. I
Uh-huh.
don't, I don't get angry with myself. I don't put myself down anymore.
Good.
Um, because you got to be
Good.
your own best friend. You got to, when you start comforting your inner child, that's when you start to care about yourself. Yes.
Hip, hip. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly.
Hypnicity?
Hypnicity.
Yeah.
I'm a colorectal survivor. So am I.
Wow, you guys. So
Wow.
was my mom. My grandmother passed away from colorectal. Oh, they
Really?
watch me really close since
Mhm.
I'm a breast cancer survivor. And my mom had colon cancer.
Uh-huh.
She had colon cancer at 90 and survived.
Wow.
And they didn't do any chemotherapy or anything. They just removed the section that had the cancer in it and sewed it back
Oh,
together.
wow.
And because the chemo would have killed her.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
she did great.
yeah. Hypnicity. The people in my family, they don't walk around saying, we don't walk around bragging about our strong colons.
That's kind of like me. I don't go around bragging about my reconstructed chest
I
either.
know, right?
Although I did make it smaller than it was.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
was a big girl.
Okay.
When I was started cancer, I was 262 pounds.
Oh,
So,
really?
and I had lost weight. And I thought, well, at least I'll lose some weight while I go through this.
Yeah.
I lost 10 pounds.
Did you?
That's all. That's all. And that mainly, I think, was from the surgery. It wasn't from,
Yeah.
and I couldn't eat when I was going through chemo. I lived on Trader Joe's, their frozen, was it 3 5 cheese macaroni and cheese
Uh-huh.
and mandarin oranges because
Wow.
everything else either tasted like cardboard or tinfoil.
Oh, guess what? Guess what medication they use to treat the colon cancer that I had? I think they may do that with everybody. The
But
name of it was 5FU. For real?
five, fuck you.
I
Okay.
know, right?
Oh dear. Oh yeah, that's the other thing on this channel. You can cuss. I don't care. I'm not monetizing through YouTube, so they can't tell me we can't do that.
That was the name
I'm
of it.
monetizing outside of YouTube. YouTube is like the platform that gets you out there.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, you have. Oh wow, ileostomy.
Oh. Mine, they just
What did you?
resectioned mine, and I did chemo. It was like, ugh.
Yeah,
I did.
chemo's no fun.
Yeah, they gave me something that if you could get real cold if you touched anything cold. It was it was weird.
Yeah. Oh, I would lay down to go to sleep at night, and I have brick in my walls and stuff. This house is weird. It's I have concrete walls between every room.
Oh, okay.
And they're brick, concrete brick. It's called slump block.
Okay.
And so I would lay down at night to go to sleep, and the light. I'd have the light turned down, and I swear to you, those darn bricks would start to dance. And it was the
Really?
chemo. It was the chemo in my head, because it was
Yeah.
always the day I'd come back after infusion, and man, they'd be dancing and having a good time. I'm like, who am I?
I want to share a little something because we're getting close. Hypnot City, when I went, I had a scare one time, Katie. Well, I wasn't afraid. The doctors were, because it was like I was losing all this weight again. It was probably about 2 years after.
Uh-huh.
And they couldn't figure out what it was. And then they said that they had to do and you wouldn't believe it. I was like dreaming. And it was like in my mind, it was like the word spelled out, whatever it was, for the upper stomach. But they did a biopsy of my stomach.
Ooh.
And the nurse called me. I was at work, and I really wasn't worried about it. I guess I'd say that. She called me and she says, "Okay, we did find some. We didn't find any cancer, but we did find something." She says, "You have H. pylori." And I
Oh,
was like, "Yes!"
I have an ulcer.
And she just started laughing. It was like I was bit. You know how it is. You're kind of crazy. You got all this stuff going on. I had lost
I had
some.
it too.
I was like, I had H. pylori.
When I had cancer, I'd go for every infusion, and I'd have them all laughing in there. And everyone's like, I know you're gonna survive, because your attitude. They didn't know that my spirit guide had already. I didn't know it was my spirit guide. I thought it was God or an angel or somebody.
Yeah.
The night before my mastectomy, I'm sitting on the side of my bed, and I'm like, okay, God, you gave this to me. Are we going to survive? Am I going to survive, or are you going to call me home?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I heard and felt at the same time. That was such a powerful, booming voice.
Uh-huh.
You will be on a difficult journey.
Uh-huh.
But I will be with you every step of the way, and sometimes I will carry you.
Oh.
And I went, I'm gonna live.
Cool.
And that was my, okay, I was told I'm gonna survive this, so let's have fun. Let's make it an adventure. Yeah, I have cancer, and doom and gloom. And my family were all, you don't ask for help, and they'd be crying. Why aren't they come to my door? You're not asking me for help. How come? And they're crying.
Uh-huh.
I don't need help. Why do I? Okay, you want to come help me? Do nothing? I sit in my recliner all day. What can you help me do?
Right.
You can
That's
cook
it.
something for me and bring it to me. But I
That's
kind of
it.
prefer to be by myself when I'm sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they took it very, very personally. They took it personally that my cancer was not allowing them to fix it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, you guys, this has been a wonderful night. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's gone so quickly.
Oh, it does. It does. It's like, oh, I can be on here for 2 hours. These guys know I can be on here for 2 hours and talk all by myself. No problem.
I get it.
I love it. These guys are you guys are my social outlet.
Uh-huh.
I don't go anywhere. Even before COVID, I was a homebody.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I like my space.
Me too.
I don't have to make explanations and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of set in being a single lady. It's been Because all my life I've been the fixer, the caregiver, and I've sacrificed for everybody else my whole life. So it's my turn now. It's my turn.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Thank you, Isaac.
You're
You
welcome.
got to come back.
Oh, yes, I will.
And, I hope that people that are watching will call you and contact you, because I know that you can help people. I feel it. It's like, you might even hear from me one of these days, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I thank you so much. Everybody, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my family, my moon dancers, and my light workers. All my subscribers here are moon dancers. So, yes. Oh, and we do dance outside in the full moon sometimes. I didn't this last one because it was cloudy and raining, but I did have a I did have a subscriber message me and say, I'm out here dancing, Katie.
Katie, I've heard you say that so many times. I'm going to do it.
Do it. It's fun.
The next full moon.
Oh, it's great. It's fun. I mean, you can have music if you want, or you just go with the energy of that light, and it just, your body will wiggle.
Okay.
It's cool. It's fun.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Everybody, be kind to one another, but especially, and this is hard, be kind to those who aren't kind to you.
Yeah.
That's how you show your light. It's not by popping off at them and tell them to go fuck themselves because they popped off ignorant at you. That's being on their level.
I think you may have given somebody some ideas.
But be kind to them. But most of all, please be kind to yourself. Self-care is the utmost, because you are of no use to anybody if you aren't at your top level. So be kind to you. Love you. And like I was saying, hug your inner child.
Yes.
We forget about our inner child. Our critical parent and our adult are so busy.
Right.
Boy, I drug those out of the past, didn't I? Those terms.
I understood exactly what you were saying.
I'm okay. You're okay. That's the book. I was a psych major for a while in college.
Were you?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Mm-hmm. It's fun. How your mind works fascinates me.
Yes, me too.
And then you add in spirit to it.
Yeah.
Wow. Everybody, have a wonderful night. Stay safe and warm. And stay safe and cool.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.